Hey Jenna, here's your video here real quick. So, I know the blow painting stuff is confusing and I apologize. I can't just make a video at the drop of a hat, but I have everything here right now. I hope you found a straw, because you're going to need a straw. I would, if there's not one in the cupboard above the sink, I would double check if the lunchroom has one, or might even bring one from home. I really can't just get you one, but I would ask around and see if somebody can grab you something. Mrs. Christensen's a good person to talk to for that. But for the blow paintings, for those little face things, yes, you do need the face, but I'll show you kind of how that works here real quick. I'm going to pick two colors that kind of look nice together. I'm going to pick the bright pink, and I'm going to pick yellow. And that's just my preference here. And I just realized I didn't get myself any water to do this with, so I'm going to go grab that. I do agree that the instructions are a little bit funky. I do hope that you tried it first, or you tried to figure it out. I mean, by all means, mess with these and see what you can do with them. Just because you don't necessarily understand the instructions perfectly doesn't mean you can't attempt something and see what it does. Watercolor is a lot of playing and figuring it out, seeing what happens with what. Some of it is waiting for it to dry. Some of it is waiting for, other things to happen. So it's all kind of not necessarily a guessing game, but a calculated risk. Sorry, I had to grab a paper towel too. So I'm going to pick two colors, like I said. And what they do on that book is they mix it together in a cup. I think that's a waste of time and a waste of space. But what you got to do is, I'm adding a lot of water to this. And I want a big, colorful, wet blob of my colors. And I have a clear plate here. I'm getting a nice big blob. And I want it really watery, with a lot of color. And I'm going to put that blob, like a little water droplet, on my page. Put as much of it as I can. Alright, now I also want a blob of yellow right next to it. So the book pictures had two dots right next to it. So I'm going to put my big old yellow dot. Lots of water in it, just like I was saying earlier. I'm going to put that right next to it here, almost touching on the paper. Alright. Ta-da! And then I'm going to grab my straw. And life just kind of happens with this. Cool. And I just blew that color all over with a straw. Then I take like a paper towel or a Kleenex, and I dab in the center here. Wonderful. And this is where I add the face. I think this is where you went wrong with your little pond, the one with the frogs and the fish and butterflies. I think this is where you went wrong with them too, is that you didn't have a dry space to work. I don't know if you noticed, but I returned that to you. I don't know how that notifies people of anything, but I do want you to retry that, because you gotta wait for that background to dry before you can start putting those shapes on there. But I'm just gonna take my brush, and instead of getting into that watery stuff, I'm gonna go right into this dark stuff here, and I'm gonna put a little on my brush. The less water you use, the darker it's going to be, but you always should have water. We'll grab a little bit here. Okay. And now I'm going to make my little face. And, you don't have to do an exact face like the book had. But you should have some sort of image. Yeah, see, I didn't get it all the way dry either, but I did get my mouth in there. So I have my face. So that is what you should be going for. Let me see if I can zoom that in for you here real quick. Oh, you can see all of that. But see, I got my little face in there. So I mixed up all those colors, got them really watery there. Put the 2 puddles of paint in a pile, blew it with a straw, dried up the center with the paper towel there, and put it in my face. Yay! I don't think you should have any problem with that. I mean, I know it is difficult if you aren't actually seeing exactly what that looks like. So let me know if you need any additional help, and I'd be happy to help. Bye! See you Tuesday!